Hello friends, welcome back to the class. Today we'll continue with the topic which we were studying in the last class. So in the last class we studied about what is journal entry, which started with the business transaction, understanding the business transaction, which is buying and selling of product or services or a promise to buy or sell product or services. Then we studied few examples of journal entry like buying a pen and availing med services. The basic thumb rule is that what we get is debited and what we give is credited. Like if you are buying a pen, you are getting pen, so pen will be debited. You're giving cash, since you're giving cash, it's credited. Pen debited to cash. Now we will study and go ahead with the next topic, which is promise to buy product or services. So we will take an example of suppose you purchased a pen and you promised to pay next day to Mehta bookstore. You purchased a pen and you promised to pay it next day. So here, what are you getting? Since you are buying a pen, you are getting a pen immediately. Okay, and you are promising to pay Mehta bookstore next day because you do not have instant cash. So you are giving a promise. You are getting pen, you are giving promise. So here the entry will be what we get is debited. So pen we are getting, which will be debited, and here we are giving the promise to Mehta bookstore. So that promise to Mehta bookstore will be credited. So the journal entry will be pen debited to Mehta book store. Okay. Suppose consider that you have paid the money next day to Mehta bookstore as you promised. So once you pay the money to Mehta bookstore, what will you get and what will you give? When you are going and fulfilling the promise of Mehta bookstore by giving cash, what is going out? Cash is going out. What is coming in? The promise which you made is being fulfilled and is coming in. So the entry then will be Mehta bookstore debit to cash. So ultimately cash is going out and the promise to pay next day is fulfilled, which is coming in. So Mehta bookstore or Mehta stationery is debited to cash. Now moving on to the next example, we took the loan from bank. When we are taking a loan from the bank, we are promising bank that will pay you the money later whenever we have it or as per our installment schedule. So when we are taking loan from bank, what are we getting in the form of loan? We are getting cash in the form of loan. What are we giving? We are giving the promise to bank to pay the money later. So what we are getting? Cash. What is debited is what we get. So here cash will be debited. And what are we giving? We are giving a promise to bank to pay the loan later. So the entry will be cash account debited to bank loan, or bank loan will be credited. Now there is another case of journal entry wherein you Mehta bookstore sold book to Ram for 25,000. He paid 10,000 in cash and promised to pay 15,000 next week. So here what is happening is that Mehta bookstore sold the book to Ram. Consider in place of Ram, you consider yourself that Mehta bookstore sold you the book. You said that I do not have enough cash now. I'll give you partly in cash and partly in promise. Okay. So what is Mehta bookstore getting? From Mehta bookstore side, if you think, what is he getting and what is he giving? So he is getting 10,000 rupees and a promise. And what is he giving? He is giving his books or stationery. So what we get is debited. So here what he is getting cash and he is getting promise. Promise here in this example, he is getting a promise from Ram. So here there are two things which will be debited. First is cash and the other thing is a promise from Ram. And what is he giving? He is giving his books, which is in the form of sales. So here, what will be debited? Debit will be cash 10,000. Ram promise, the promise which is given by Ram, which is 15,000, and he is making a sale of 25,000. So instead of writing books, we generally write sales. So whatever transaction happens in our day-to-day life in the business, instead of mentioning the name of the product, we write it as sale. And if we buy that similar product, we tell it purchase. So purchase and sale. So here Mehta Bookstore is selling the books. That is why it is sales. So the entry will be cash debited 10,000. Ram debited 15,000, sales credited 25,000. Consider that Ram went and gave the money to Mehta Bookstore the very next day or next week as he promised. So since the money is given to Mehta Bookstore, what is Mehta Bookstore receiving? Mehta Bookstore is getting cash, which is 15,000, which was due or promised. And what is Ram doing? Ram is fulfilling the promise here, and Mehta Bookstore is giving up the promise that okay, the promise is fulfilled now. So what will be the entry in Mehta Bookstore's book now? After this entry, the entry will be cash debited 15,000 and then Ram credited 15,000. That will be the entry which will happen in case the payment is made by Ram next week to Mehta Bookstore. Now moving ahead, so there is one more case. Suppose you found a mobile while walking in the street. Here what is happening is that you are getting a mobile without paying anything. You were just walking by the street and you got a mobile. So what is happening here? You are getting mobile, you are paying nothing. So what are we giving? We are giving nothing. In that case, since you are giving nothing and you are getting a mobile, that's a profit for you. So what are you getting? You are getting a mobile. So, and you are incurring a profit. So what will be the entry? The entry will be mobile debited to profit account, or mobile will be debited and profit will be credited. Then moving on to the next one, just the opposite of what we discussed in the last slide. We lost a mobile while walking in the street. So here what is happening? You are losing your mobile. In return, you are not getting anything. Okay, so this is a case of loss. So what are you giving here? You are giving up your mobile here, but you are getting nothing. You are incurring rather a loss. So what will happen here? The entry will be loss will be debited to mobile, because mobile is something which is going from your hand, but you are incurring a loss. So loss will be debited to mobile. In the previous case, we were getting mobile and we are having a profit. So mobile will be debited to profit. Here loss will be debited to mobile. We'll continue with the next topic in the next class. Thank you for watching.